Okay, in this demonstration, I'm going to show you certificate-based authentication with Azure AD. So here, I've uploaded my root CA certificate. There's a published CRL endpoint, which is actually just needs to be a publicly available FQDN. So this could be something that actually exists within Azure, and I could replicate my CRL up there periodically. It's treated as a multi-factor authentication. So once I've got my authentication method configured, a policy that says certificate-based authentication is enabled for all users, is treated as a multi-factor. This is the issuer that I'm going to use there, and it's going to extract the user principal name from the certificate. And I'm using Zscaler Beta here for my authentication because I explicitly have force authentication enabled. So this sends a force auth n as part of the SAML authentication request. So what does that actually mean? It means that if I've got my managed device here, which is enrolled in Intune, it's a managed Azure AD managed device. It's got the it's got a primary refresh token, so it's Azure AD hybrid joined. So invariably it would do transparent authentication into Azure AD, but sending the force auth n tells Azure AD to ignore the primary refresh token and explicitly challenge the user for credentials. This means that the user will be prompted for a certificate. I can provide the certificate here from my keychain, Mark Ryan, and I could indeed, if I was doing it in the browser, tell the browser to automatically select that certificate. So I could still get a transparency even though it's opening up the private key to validate that certificate. So if I go to SAML SP, I do SSO type is test, domain equals welshgeek.net, it's going to trigger the SP initiated sign-on. So I get moved over to, redirected to login.microsoft.com. Here I enter my user credential, click next. Here I get prompted and I select user certificate or smart card. I get prompted for the certificate. And again, this could be could be done as a policy to automatically send this certificate for certauth.login.microsoftonline.com. Once I do that, I'm enrolled, and it redirects back. And so here in the auth method references, I see X509, and it's treated as multiple auth n, and then I still get that it's a managed device because of the device information and the tunnel that's sent through to Azure. So I get an amount of information there as well. So this proves a proof of ownership, a proof of possession. The user is in front of the device to be able to have access to the private key for that client certificate authentication. Hope this is useful.